We're good to go. Welcome back to NuthinButNet. We've been away for a little while. We've been biding our time, waiting patiently to bring you the Oscar noms for this year, 2018.
And the reason that we didn't do the episode last week is that I went in for throat surgery, and you can't even tell the difference.
No, you really can't.
But I feel much better now. And everything's fine. They got rid of the obstruction in my windpipe.
Yeah.
Turned out it was Legos.
Well, you
Legos
do.
in my windpipe.
You have been eating a lot of Legos recently.
Not on purpose. But things will find a way.
Well, it's like how you eat 12 spiders a year in your sleep. You eat however countless Legos in your sleep.
Upwards of 500 Legos. You know how some women will not a cherry stem in their mouth to seduce men.
Yeah.
Well, I would build a Lego car in my throat to seduce men.
Okay.
Too much Lego makes Jack talk weird, but they got it out and my voice is normal again.
Yeah, it was strange because you've been doing that for years and for the entire duration of the podcast. So it's weird that it's never come up before, but after surgery, I'd say it's weird because listening back to the old podcasts, your voice was just really odd sounding, and now it sounds like normal.
Sorry for my stupid voice in episode 1 through 14, but now my normal voice is back, and we can all play away.
Yeah. So this is how it's going to be from now on. I mean, I've always had my normal voice.
And what a nice voice it is.
That's just fact.
My voice is very normal too now.
It is, yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Papadopoulos, for my Lego.
It's a very
surgery, excuse me.
It's a very American doctor name for someone in the UK.
No. It is.
Yeah. Well, he is an American doctor, isn't he, Papadopoulos?
Yes. One of the best.
One of the best American doctors.
Very dark hair. Very light touch. With a scalpel.
Yeah.
Or a Lego caliper.
A Lego caliper.
He specializes in Lego-based surgeries.
He always has.
Yes.
So, we could talk about Papadopoulos all day.
Until the cows come in.
Yeah. So, but this is our Oscar special.
Happy Oscars.
Yeah. Well, it's not the Oscar Papadopoulos, the doctor. It's the Oscar noms. The Oscar nominations for who has won Best Movie of the Year.
Oops. I just ate a Lego. And my voice has gone dumb again.
Well, sorry, you kids at home, you'll have to live with it.
I'm going to have to call Doc
Papadopoulos
Papadop to come in after this and get the Lego out, but I just ate a roof tile from a Lego house hut.
And it happens. Again, like I always say. Well, it's funny because I was talking about eating spiders in your sleep. Eating Lego in your sleep. You eat them when you're awake too.
And spiders as well when I'm awake. More than you know.
Well, someone's going to live in that Lego house you're building in your stomach. Why not it be a spider?
Well said, well said. And that's the sort of well-spoken sentence that we would expect from any number of Oscar-nominated actors or writers.
Yeah, any number.
The actors, sure, they bring the words to life, but where would we be if not for the writers who actually give the words life? It's all about life.
We'd be nowhere.
We'd be nowhere. what a year it's been for films. And films are now online. So this is actually totally legit within
Yeah,
the remit
and
of this podcast.
where did they put all the Oscar noms? Online. They put them up there online for us to see and think about until the Oscars come out.
I just want to say before we go any further, this episode of Nothing But Net is brought to you by Variety.com, your go-to location, your number one destination for celebrity gossip, news, and explanation.
And this is coming to you. This is the Oscar nominations 2018, the complete list written by the very talented staff member, Variety staff. This came out on January 23rd, so it's fresh. It's fresh and new.
That's news stories.
5:19 a.m.
Wow.
Pacific time.
Burning the midnight oil.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are in the studio before most of us lazy slackers have even had our KP porridge and our Cliff Bar to start off the day the right way. Before most of us have even had our Cliff Bar and our Folgers coffee. And
a nice Cliff Bar. We are also sponsored by Cliff Bars. They send me hundreds of packets per day. It is what I actually had for breakfast.
Yeah.
Is a Cliff Bar.
A Cliff Bar. And you know what? You are what you eat. So a lot of seagulls nest on Adam's head. He's a cliff.
Well, I think we've discussed my head, and it's
capacious.
Yeah.
Plenty of room for seagulls up there.
Yeah.
There's two warring factions of ancient seagull families that are based on the west and east peripheries of Adam's skull. And that should give you some idea of the scale, because these are actually some of the most ancient seagull families known to man or woman.
And when you see the seagull fights, that should give you some idea of the skill that these seagulls have in combat.
Oh, the aerial acrobatics of these little buggers is off the charts. They swoop and swish like spiders.
People look at me down the street. They look at me walking, and they see. Sometimes I'm lifted into the air by the eagles, and they take me just high enough for it to be scary, but not high enough for me to be considered actually flying.
Yeah, you are in the midst of a high jump, at best. But it's more than most men or women get to experience, apart from maybe Amelia Earhart and any number of EasyJet pilots. So good enough.
Me and the EasyJets and Amelia were in the what I like to call the 10 feet high club.
Yeah.
Where we haven't had sex on a plane.
Or anywhere.
Or really anywhere. But we have also been dragged 10 feet into the air.
By birds.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's part of the initiation at EasyJet. And that was another great Greek whose name I think is Staphos. Do you remember the big EasyJet guy, the big Greek guy who started EasyJet?
Yes, Staphos.
And he would occasionally turn up on episodes of Come Fly With Me or whatever that show was.
He would,
EasyJet.
yeah.
And it's great to be here at the EasyJet plane. And then he'd leave and go into British Airways.
Yeah,
and he was a billionaire.
He'd get carried
by staff members
to his destination by his staff members.
Yeah, on their backs, on their crooked bags. But we're not here to talk about easy pilots or difficult pilots or Adam. We're here to talk about the glitterati of Hollywood. Very much, to my mind, the place where most films I see comes from, and probably, inarguably, the den where a cabal of Marxist pedophiles runs the world.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to get into that here much, but I will some.
Yeah, well, we'll have a section, The Truth
isn't out here. It's out there.
It's out there.
Yeah.
And the truth is, the Oscars are here.
Yeah. And sure, we can get into any number of secret summer retreats that Ronald Reagan and whatnot attended, and there is video footage out there, and I have been getting deep into some of my Alex Jones InfoWars conspiracy theories still.
Yeah. I mean, it still happens.
It is true. There is an InfoWar out there. We are at the tip of the spear, the InfoWar, but let's just focus on movies.
Yeah.
Even if they are really a vehicle for, as I say, elite sort of pedophile terror groups that are ruining this country and others. Sorry.
Whoops. But oh boy, isn't it such a treat to see your favorite actor or actress win the award and go up on stage and thank their mother, their father, their sister, their brother, and everyone involved in the film. And it's, it makes you forget.
And all I'm saying is just Google Comet Ping Pong. And the rabbit hole goes deep, folks. And that's all I'll say on the matter.
That's fine.
Just look it up. But let's get into it. Let's use the tools that Variety gave us. Thank you, Variety. Thank you, God.
Yeah.
And let's see what movies made the cut this year. So why don't we start with the categories that everyone cares about, the technicals.
Yeah.
So let's start with the biggie, the award for best visual effects.
Okay.
And the nominees are Blade Runner 2049, John Nelson, Paul Lambert, Richard R. Hoover, Gerd Nefzer. Are these films or are these... Oh no, that's the technical team, I understand. On Blade Runner 2049. And it did that film. Did you see Blade Runner?
Yeah, I did.
That had Richard Hoover's work all over it.
He was hoovering... He should be hoovering up these nominations. He should be hoovering up these awards because of the work he did.
Yeah, and also similarly, Gerd Nefzer, I would probably rename to Good Nefzer.
Good.
Yeah.
Gerd Nefzer's won again.
Great Nefzer, really, at this point, because
Yeah.
he's been involved in so many visual effects classics all the way through from Blade Runner 2049 to any number of other films.
Yeah.
But they've got stiff competition, because also up for that award of Best Visual Effects, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
And that's Christopher Townsend, Guy Williams, Jonathan Faulkner, and Dan Sudik.
And also Gert Nefzer did some of the visual effects on that one too, so Gerd has kind of got a horse in both races so far.
He really has.
So it's a Gerd year to be Nefzer. I liked Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
I liked the bit,
Baby Groot.
the little man, where he does the little dance, and that's all visual effects, which I thought was crazy.
It's nuts. It looks so real. Because I'm thinking, how the hell did they get such a young tree to do that?
And it's really good writing. It's really well done.
Really,
James Gunn. I know that's not what the award's for.
Yeah, let's not go into that right now because that's different. Less significant category, really.
To go from Super to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, there's a real evolution there.
Yeah. And the real evolution is Christopher Townsend because he did some work on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, but I think he was fairly junior, whereas now he's number one on the call sheet in terms of production design and visual effects.
If you actually watch the credits of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, because I've watched them through and through.
Yeah.
It came out on Blu-ray. I've seen it 100 times.
Yeah, we all have.
Christopher, the next evolution, Townsend, is actually what he's listed as.
And he's also listed third in all the credits. I think it goes Pratt, Townsend, and then Zoe Saldana's or something.
Yeah.
She's even in that film, I don't know. Santana,
Santana the musician.
the guitarist, is fourth, and then Sultanas, the delicious, healthy snack, come fifth, because Chris Pratt really does hoover those up now that he's a hunk.
He really does. As he said, when he got in shape for Guardians, he was fresh off Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
He got in shape for Guardians of the Galaxy, and he said, they asked him in an interview, how'd you get so fit? How'd you get in shape? And he said, Sultana, Sultana, Sultana.
I was shotgunning Sultanas at 3 a.m. in the morning, and I got so buff. I used to be Andy, and now I'm Handy. And then he would squeeze his hand and make his bicep go big.
Squeeze a Sultana in his hand.
And everyone knows Handy is what people call people who are fit. Now I'm Handy. Like Handy Andy from...
Parks and Rec.
Yeah, from Parks and Rec.
In the 6th season.
Yeah,
when he becomes
Handy Andy.
Handy in
When he
shape.
gets fit, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there's another nominee for visual effects. Kong, Skull Island. Now, this is a bit of a weird one because this came out, I think, in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
So this shouldn't be here. So that's kind of a joke. So just ignore that one. I'm not even going to read the names on there, although it looks like Jeff Goldblum was involved.
Probably.
And Mike Minardus, which is, again, a joke name. This is obviously a joke category. It's a little way for Hosker to tell people are paying attention. Star Wars The Last Jedi. I didn't see this because I do not trust Star Wars anymore that George Lucas is not involved.
That's
I've always
fair.
been a Trekkie anyway.
Well,
Pass.
the authorship of Lucas, I think, because if you go back to episode 3, when that was dominated for best visual effects, best writing, best screenplay, best director, and best movie,
Yeah.
it was the only credit was George Lucas.
George Lucas, yeah. Best actor, George Lucas.
He did everything in that movie. And now that they've changed a job of 1 man to 100 men, I'm not interested.
What's a camel? It's a horse by committee.
Yeah.
And what's Star Trek, new Star Trek? It's Star Wars by committee.
Yeah.
And is that going to work? Absolutely not, because I believe firmly that one very talented person is better than 100 medium people.
The vision of George Lucas brought us Boss Nass. The vision of George Lucas brought us the pod race. The vision of George Lucas brought us
Sebulba.
Sebulba.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We all know this is from episode 1. were episode 1 specific.
And here's the closer. You got Greg Proops actually commentating on a pod race. So what's that all about?
Yeah.
How would you ever come up with that unless you were the genius himself, gorgeous George Lucas? You wouldn't. If you're this new guy, who's doing the new Star Wars? Pete Gunn or something you just said.
Yeah, probably Pete Gunn.
Pete Gunn, who cares? What has Pete Gunn ever done to deserve Star Wars? I'll tell you what George Lucas did to deserve Star Wars. He came up with bloody Star Wars in his mind.
Yeah. In his back bedroom, in his mind.
And it may have been ancient illuminated manuscripts that he found on a trip up the woods one day in a mountain. But we wouldn't know. But either way, fine, he deserves it.
Yeah.
Because the guy who found the manuscripts from Mormon as well, Mr. Smith, he gets plenty of credit for it, and he was just a guy walking.
Exactly.
God chose him. And in the same way, maybe Binks chose Lucas to receive the illuminated manuscripts. And
Binks George Lucas.
Binks should win the award for best visual effects, but unfortunately that film has already come and gone. Of course, Phantom Menace won in its year. Will
best
this
use
Star
of Jar
Wars
Jar
win?
in a movie.
I doubt it. When you've not even got Gerd Nefzer on your team, you're not going to win.
Yeah.
I wouldn't bet up for it.
We've still got a last nom.
Uh-huh.
It's War for the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
And I think our response to that there tells you wonders about War for the Planet of the Apes. No thanks.
I mean, just listen to the names of the people involved in this visual effects. Joe Lettery. Well, he'd more likely to win the lottery than to win this Oscar. Dan Lemon. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Like, that's a real name. Dan Lemon.
Lemon.
That is a fruit. Just call him Dan Lime and get
We've
over
got
with.
Daniel Barrett, and let's be honest, he'd be more likely to win the lottery than to win this award.
Yeah, and then Joel Wist, which I think is something you do with a lemon. So those two obviously teamed up to do like a stupid joke.
Stupid lemon joke.
Yeah.
And
Well,
don't sully the Oscars with your daft lemon jokes.
Exactly. You don't pretend you're above it. It's in fact above you. It's the Oscars, for Christ's sake. It's not, if it was the Golden Globes, I'd find this whole Kung Skull Island joke very funny, and I'd find the War for the Planet of the Apes very funny, but this is not. So anyway, I'm going to say
Kung Fu Island.
Kung Fu Island, which is obviously a great film with Jack Black.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say the winner for me will probably be Kong Skull Island, because that monkey did look so real.
It really did.
Yeah. So well done, Lyman.
I loved the bit in Kong Skull Island where they were in the jungle, but they weren't in the jungle. They were in the legs of a beast.
Yes, isn't that so funny that hair looks like woods?
That's life.
Something you can do that when I was 13 thought would be a very good idea would be to photograph my pubic hair, someone else's pubic hair, and then spray deodorant onto my pubic hair and then take a picture.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought, in my wisdom as a 13-year-old, and I really did think this, that would be a sort of Time magazine worthy photograph as a comment on deforestation and also, sexual liberty, but also just how damaging are greenhouse gases, because I'm spraying them right onto my pubes, which looks like trees. And I really did think about taking that photo, but I didn't have the technology at the time.
No, and these days,
copyright.
Who has the time?
Yeah, this days, I'm too busy going to the cinema to see these films.
Yeah, back then, all the time, none of the technology. Now, all the technology, no time.
That's life for you, isn't it? Rarely do two things come together in life and work well. And this podcast is a great example of that.
Exactly.
But anyway, I feel very positive about the visual effects this year, and I think we should all be proud of ourselves.
I think Kong's going to take...
It's Kong.
Kong takes cake.
Monkey that size is not going to win it, because the Academy, quite frankly, would be terrified to piss him off. And nobody cares about pissing off Star Wars, because actually all the...
Force isn't real. Hello.
Luke's dead, or whatever, I don't know. Okay, spoiler alert. Costume design. This is one for Adam.
I'm a big costume boy.
He's currently dressed up in his... What would you call that? Sort of... cyberpunk badass, I think you called it before.
Yeah.
Just describe your outfit for the folks at home.
So it's a leather jacket, but it was a floor length leather jacket. Think Neo from the Matrix, but
Neo.
Yeah, I think Neo from the Matrix, but then cut that coat in half, but not fully in half. So it's like a regular coat. It's almost like it doesn't go down to my ankles.
No,
it goes just above my knees.
Yeah,
Nothing below. there's a big pair of boots on, Doc Martens, what I call curb stompers, which is a cool term for them. And I've just got a pair of shades on, and I should note that the jacket is ill-fitting. It's too small, much too small.
It looks bad on you, but the ambition of the ensemble is extraordinary.
Well, I like the way it cuts off the circulation to my arms.
Yeah, you've got purple hands now, which
That's
is actually
part of the look.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So that's costume design for you.
And just to quickly run through the nominees for the costume design, we've got, yes, Beauty and the Beast, Jacqueline Duran. Yes, Darkest Hour, Jacqueline Duran again, double Duran. We've got Phantom Thread, Mark Bridges, Build All Your Bridges. I would say probably Phantom Thread is too easy to win because that's a film about clothes.
Yeah, too easy.
It'd be like if
Star Wars was about visual effects.
Or like if SNL won the Funniest Comedy Award.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that is what they do. Don't give them an award for it. It's about that.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
No. So Phantom Thread, my tip is probably will win, but shouldn't. Too easy. Shape of Water by Louis Quinceañera is...
Louis Quinceañera, really.
I don't like the clothes he makes. Water isn't clothes.
Yep.
Take that, Louis. And Victoria and Abdul is a film I have not even heard of, and that's Consolata Boyle. And...
sounds like Consolata's going to need some consoling when she loses the Oscar.
Yeah. Consolata Boyle sounds like Latin for bad luck. You've got skin growth.
Yeah. So I think we should just power through. Makeup and hair. We've got Darkest Hour again. Kazuhiro Tsuji, David Malinowski, Lucy Sibic, and Victoria and Abdul. Daniel Phillips
What
and
is
Lou
this film,
Shepherd.
Victoria and Abdul?
Wonder. I assume they've misspelled it and it's Wonder Woman. Arjun Tweeten.
I can't see past Origin for this because Wonder Woman's makeup was extraordinary. They certainly made me have a crush on everyone in that film.
Yeah, I had a huge crush on Wonder Woman and Princess Bride's very own Princess Buttercup.
And I was scared of the baddies, which were soldiers.
Yeah.
And makeup goes so far towards that. Because if you make someone's eyes darker, they look scary. And the way you do that is either with visual effects or makeup.
Yeah. So Wonder Woman should really replace Skull Island in visual effects.
I didn't see Wonder Woman in the visual effects category. I was about to say that seems like a blip, an anomaly. Maybe they forgot to get their paperwork in.
Hopefully.
We can only imagine because the visual effects in that film were stunning.
Yeah.
The way that she was able to fly, for example, I think.
Gal Gadot, probably going to win Best Actor.
But we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Let's not give away the horse before the
So we've
pig
got
is bolted.
My favorite
Adams of Music.
coming up
Yeah.
is Original Song.
This is not covers. This
No.
is new songs written for the movies. So you can expect... What are some of the classics in the original song category? The Lion King.
Yeah.
The Way the Lion Sleeps Tonight.
From The Bodyguard.
Awimbawe, 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 awimbawe.
In the Jungle.
Timon and Pumbaa.
That was a good series.
Awimbawe, awimbawe.
But I liked
A classic.
The Bodyguard. I liked
The Bodyguard from The Bodyguard.
The Hitman's Bodyguard, which uses the same song, but it's original.
All the instrumental stuff from Midnight Run.
Mm-hmm. By Dexy's Midnight Runners.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I can stand anything from Planes, Trains and Automobiles, that remix of Steve Martin shouting.
Oh, yeah. It's probably the best original song.
Yeah, well, that is Lifetime Achievement Award for music. It goes to that song, which
Yeah.
I think was actually Steve Martin in his garage rewriting and recording himself.
Well, it's funny because he's won twice because he also did Over the Rainbow for Muppets.
Yeah.
With Kermit the Frog.
Yeah. The great Steve Martin, folks. He deserves every Oscar he gets. So I think at this point he's on 18.
And he's probably set to win at least another 20 this year.
Well, I wouldn't be. We've not looked yet, but I wouldn't be surprised as I move my eyes down the page to see his name. I'd love to catch his eyes, but to see his name under the best song category would be not a surprise to this particular boy.
Well, shall we find out?
Yeah. Now, we don't have the rights to play these songs, so we will be sampling them in our own unique way.
So we got Mighty River from Mudbound by Mary J. Blige.
Mighty River
from Mudbound by Mary J. Blige. We've got Mystery of Love from Call Me By Your Name.
Love.
And that's by Sufjan Stevens.
Call Me By Your Name by Sufjan.
We got Remember Me from Coco.
Cuckoo.
That's Kristen Anderson Lopez and Robert Lopez.
I think here's an inside scoop. Kristen Anderson Lopez is actually Jennifer Lopez's real name.
Yeah.
And Robert Lopez is
Jennifer Lopez's husband's real name.
which is Pitbull.
Yeah. We got Stand Up For Something from Marshall.
Which is actually a cover of the great Michael Jackson song, Bad, that they've renamed. So technically that should not be there, and I will be writing to Oscars.
Mm-hmm. And we've got This Is Me from The Greatest Showman by Benj Pasek and Justin Paul.
This is me.
I'm not seeing any...
Where's the Ghostbusters theme?
Steph
Where's any of
Martin.
the James Bond themes?
Yeah.
Where's A Few Dollars More by Neo Marconi?
Nowhere.
Nowhere. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Ooh.
Oh. Where's that on the list? Deserves to be there for sure.
Yeah.
But instead we've got This Is Me, which is a song I have completely failed to hear.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't even tried and I haven't heard it. I have heard Remember Me from Coco. I went to see Coco in the cinema the other day.
Oh, really?
Great family romp.
Who did you go with?
Scary for skeletons, though. My whole family.
Oh, lovely.
So
did you have a bowl of Cocoa Pops when you were in there?
I did. The
I
noise,
did not like that.
the noise of the Cocoa Pops were only deafened by the deafening screams of the hundreds of children that were also in the cinema.
Terrific.
That were loud and vomitous, I think is the word.
Yeah, me and all my girlfriends are going to go to a adult-only screening of Coco, and I'm hoping to get some. Because that is supposed to be a very sexy film because of all the bright colours.
It's an incredibly sexual movie.
Yeah. But I don't think...
Scary too. So it's good to bring a girl to because there's a lot of skeletons in it.
Because girls will jump onto you when they're scared of a skeleton. And that's why I like to go to haunted houses on first dates. Exclusively.
Yeah.
I will not date you unless you come with me to a haunted house.
Unless you come to me haunted house.
Unless you come to my haunted house.
So, I mean, that's original song, but we've also got original score.
Sorry, I got the Lego again.
That's fine.
I got it out, but his voice has gone different again.
People listen to us for top-notch audio quality, and I think that's first and foremost.
Top-notch audio quality and also insight and smart ideas.
Yeah.
Anyway, continuing on with reading the Oscar nominations list.
Yeah, we've got original score. That's Dunkirk by Hans Zimmer. More like Hans Zippo. We've got Phantom Thread by Johnny Greenwood. The Shape
from
of
Radiohead.
Yeah, The Shape of Water by Alexandre Desplat.
Desplat.
Yeah.
The Shape of Water. The Sound of Water would have been a better name for that score. That's my impression of the Sound of Water.
Yeah. We've got Star Wars The Last Jedi by John Williams.
And of course, 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri, which should actually be struck from the record because it's too long.
Too long a title. They won't be able to fit it on the ticker tape.
How are you supposed to write a song with those words in it? Now, Star Wars is easy. 2 words.
Star Wars. Star Wars.
Dunkirk, for the same reason, incredibly easy. Dunkirk.
Yeah.
Phantom Thread didn't have a sound tune. It was just the noise of scissors cutting thread, which is very innovative. But Mr. Greenwood, you are an emperor with no clothes on. Failure to launch. Star Wars Last Jedi, obviously a classic. 3 Billboards Out of Ebbing, Missouri. If it has any music, I'm guessing the music's too long.
Yeah.
Because the name of the film's too long?
Yeah, everything's too long.
Just call it 3 Billboards. Sucker.
Joke.
Okay, production design. What even is that? Nobody knows. I think that is... This is the award for people who had really nice paper and sort of stationery.
Sure.
On set, I think.
Best assistants.
Yeah. Beauty and the Beast. The assistants were Sarah Greenwood and Katie Spencer. 2 Katies there. Blade Runner 24059 was Dennis Gassner, Pain in the Assner, and Alessandra Cruzola. Made up name.
Probably.
Darkest Hour was Sarah Greenwood again and Katie Spencer again. Again, the 2 Katies. And, they're... To be nominated for 2 films is stupid and shouldn't happen because, well, which film's better then?
Yeah, exactly.
Dunkirk, we had Gary Fettis. Sorry, Gary, no chance. And The Shape of Water, it was Paul D. Osterberry, which is actually a fruit I've not tried, and Jeffrey Melvin.
Pull the Osterberry.
Pull the other one, more like.
Yeah, pull the other one. This one's not winning a single award.
There's absolutely no chance that Defensive Tread's going to be getting any awards because actually it's just the noise of scissors cutting thread for 2 hours.
Yeah. Dara O'Brien's a look at the comedy Oscar. A look at the Oscars in a comedic fashion.
And the Oscar for Best Comedian goes to Dara O'Brien.
Dara O'Brien for his great role in Dara O'Brien's 8-Bit, a new series where he plays the video games.
Unbelievable. It's great because you know he's got a physics degree and he got that nerd background that allows him to speak very intelligently about subjects like why God doesn't exist and why video games are fun.
Oh, God, why doesn't Super Mario jump? Why doesn't Super Mario jump?
There's just absolutely defying the laws of gravity there at Super Mario. So, well, what's going to happen next? Luigi's going to invent your machine there, your internal combustion machine there. Very funny.
Very funny, Luigi.
Very good one, Luigi. And now I'm going back to Robot Wars, where I'm hoping to marry one of the robots. Probably Griselda, a robot I have invented myself. Not interested.
No.
I don't find Dara O'Brien convincing at all, and he didn't deserve his Oscar for Best Comedian, but he did get one.
So, he probably did deserve it, but he didn't deserve it.
Oscar's never wrong, but I am also never wrong, so it's kind of an immovable force situation.
Yeah. And we're getting into the top-notch awards here. We're getting into the big boys. This is sound mixing.
Film editing.
Oh, I love sound mixing.
Baby's Driver.
Yeah, we got Baby Driver by the Ellis Slater and Cavagin team. Cavagin. We got Blade Runner 2049. We got Dunkirk. We got The Shape of Water. We got Star Wars: The Last Jedi. And for my money, it's got to be best sound mixing will be the Oscars awards themselves.
Yeah, I think that'll probably sneak in there. The sound mixing I expect this year will be, again, divine.
And it's the exact same movies for sound editing.
And that's because nobody cares about that category, so we'll just move on.
Yeah, really, it's probably the worst category, and I think if you're looking for a job in the sound industry to sound edit or sound mix, really you're barking up the wrong tree.
Yeah, and this is a classic case of if you were at the Oscars ceremony, now's the time when you go and pick up another free hot dog and go for a piss.
Yeah.
Sound editing, right. That's my cue. A stampede of people rush to the toilets. This is the time when you will get to see Arnold Schwarzenegger's penis next to you.
Yeah.
This is the time when you will get to see Tom Cruise's penis next to you. This is the time when you will get to bump into Rihanna at the concession stand picking up a bottle of popcorn. Now's the time, folks.
And she's going to be there because she's there to pick up the award for Greatest Showman.
Uh-huh. Again.
Rihanna wins.
We quickly skip past the sort of joke awards, the sound editing awards, onto film editing, which is actually stuff you can see.
Yeah, because the visuals are always more, like, movies are 2 things. Audio, picture. But they're really one thing, picture. Because you can enjoy a movie if you're deaf, you can't enjoy a movie if you're blind, and it's just a fact.
Yeah, they're called movies.
And they have subtitles.
Move. They're not still pictures, they are movies.
Hello, audio description. Where's the award for best audio description for just writing down what the sounds are?
A lion walks up to the edge of a cliff and pushes another lion off the cliff. The lion's son watches on in horror at his uncle, a lion, who has killed his dad.
A lion.
A lion. He's now a lion on the ground, getting killed by a stampede.
And that won the award for best audio description.
1992, Lion King. Best foreign language film. A Fantastic Woman.
Yeah.
From Chile. The Insult by Lebanon. Loveless in Russia. On Body and Soul, which came out of Hungary. And The Square from Sweden. Or as they are known respectively in their native languages.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And Who's having?
Yeah. And that's the original names for them. And I think On Body and Soul should win because they're really hungry for this award.
I'd love to see the name of that country after a few more years of economic success changed to Fool.
Full.
Because
Full
it
up.
feels like they are in a much better place these days. Well done, Hungary.
Yeah.
And the Oscar for Most Improved Country goes to Hungary.
Yeah. So we're moving right on into the actual these are the big boys. These are the big boy awards.
Yeah, these big boys are short films.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's DeKalb Elementary by Reed Van Dyke, The 11 O'Clock by Darren Sale and Josh Lawson, My Nephew Emmett by Kevin Wilson Jr., The Silent Child, and What / All of Us by Katja Benrath and Tobias Rossen.
My guess would be none of these films will win because they're too short.
Yeah.
Make a full-length movie.
3
Nerds.
billboards, too long. The Silent Child or DeKalb Elementary, too short. 2 short films.
Too short to handle. And I'm just scrolling through some of these categories and they're all very boring.
Yeah, there's Knife Skills by Thomas Lennon from Best Documentary Short Subject.
Animated features, animated shorts.
Best documentary feature,
Okay.
Strong Island. I'd watch Strong Island because it's probably an island full of really tough kids, really tough boys.
I would, if I were a boy and I'd been thrown onto an island and had to fight my way off, I think I would have. That's all.
Yeah, I would have Lord of the Flied out of there.
Lord of the Island would be me. So let's get to the ones that really matter. Actress and actresses, because we do not want to hear from a bunch of ugly, smart people. We want to look at beautiful people doing what they do best, which is pretending to be other beautiful people.
I can bring up, just before we get to the big main event of actors and actresses, animated feature, I will eat my own heart if The Boss Baby does not win.
Yeah, agreed. It is a very funny film, and it's got Kevin Spacey written all over it.
Yeah.
Famous creep. Sure to win. Best supporting actress. Number 1 is Mary J. Blige. So that's a typo because she's actually a rapper.
Yeah, and she does the song for Mudbound too.
So skip that one.
Can't win 2 awards, Mary J.
Supporting actress Alison Janney from I, Tonya. I have not heard of her. Leslie Manville. Well, this is for best actress, so it should be Womanville or
Girlville.
Sorry. Laurie Metcalf, Lady Bird. Well, bugs can't win awards, so grow up. Octavia Spencer. I have heard her name from The Shape of Water. Well, I have to go with her because she's the only one I've heard of who's not a bug.
Yep. Or Mary J. Blige.
But she's a rapper, so she is therefore ineligible because this is not the Grammys.
Exactly.
Supporting actor.
So we've got Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe, the man who is... here's why I think Willem won't win this award. What is his name, Adam?
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Willem,
so when
the
he's
enemy.
not called Willem Defriend.
Yeah.
So when I see him as a sort of kindly neighbor, as I believe he plays in the Florida Project, I'm thinking, what the hell's going on
Hold
here?
on a minute. Why is the Green Goblin in Florida?
I was led to believe the Green Goblin was dead.
Yeah.
And living in New York, of all places, if he was alive.
Yeah. Manhattan.
Florida's where
Spider-Man
people go to
famously comes from
retire.
Manhattan.
Yeah. So that's got all sorts of mistakes over it. He's Willem Dafoe, not Willem Defriend, so why is he playing a friendly guy? And also, why is the Green Goblin in Florida?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. Discard. No.
Yeah. So we got Woody Harrelson, and that's 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. Again, not considered a movie. Too long.
The only way that anyone could have won with that is because there were so few characters left for the overall sentence.
Yeah.
If an actor or actress had an extremely short name, even though the name of the film is so long, collectively they might have still come in under. But Woody Harrelson has a few syllables.
Yeah.
If Woody Harrelson's name was PP, or
Just PP.
or just like Pip,
Yeah.
Pip in 3 billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri, and I know I'm falling asleep just saying it, that would have just made it.
Yeah.
So all I would say is, Woody, if you want to win this year, you've got a couple of months, you have to change your name to Pip or TP.
Yeah. TP is probably the best one.
No, just TP. You got to have names.
Yeah. So we've got Richard Jenkins from The Shape of Water.
Again, someone who I am completely unfamiliar with, so cannot imagine winning.
No, Christopher Plummer for All the Money in the World. Now, this is a guy who will probably win because Christopher Plummer replaced everyone's least favorite man, Kevin Spacey,
The Boss Baby.
at the last minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like this is going to be a pretty easy win for Christopher Plummer, because when you're taking over from Kevin Spacey, there's only one way to go, and that's up.
Absolutely. And also, I'd love to see him smash the record for the oldest Oscar winner set by himself.
Yeah.
And win. Just to really shove it in his own face.
Yeah, and finally, we have Sam Rockwell, and that's for 3 billboards. Again, too
Same
long.
problem. Sam, if you before Woody or whichever one of you is willing to shorten your name will win this award.
It's the race to who be first to TP.
Absolutely, but Sam Rockwell with a name like that, I think you could probably get away with changing his name to Bono. Because guess who else rocks well?
Yeah.
Bono Vox.
Okay, so it's TP and Bono.
Okay, then they would have to share the award.
Yeah.
Because they'd both be eligible and both their performances are, top class, top drawer, really.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving away from supporting actors and actresses and on to the real stuff. Lead actress. Sally Hawkins, The Shape of Water.
I haven't seen The Shape of Water, but if she's just swimming around, what's the point?
I watched the documentary on Michael Phelps and didn't care for it.
Me neither.
So it's a no for me.
Too many drugs.
Frances McDormand. Is Frances a girl's name?
Regardless, she's going to have to change it because it's for 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Oh, God. And Frances McDormand's even more of a long name than Woody Harrelson.
Exactly. So she's going to have to change it too.
Yeah, if she could change her name to just one letter, she's in with a chance. Otherwise, bye-bye.
F.
F off. Margot Robbie is, again, from I, Tonya. It's a skating film with very much ice. Margot Robbie...
She was great.
I feel
as
funny about Margot Robbie. I look at her and I get a sort of... I don't want to get into too much detail, but there's a tingle somewhere.
Yeah.
And I smile and I smirk to myself and I think, I could see myself... She would marry me. I will marry her.
Yeah.
I
I feel the same way about I, Tonya's Margot Robbie.
Yeah, Margot Robbie, yeah.
So Suicide Squad, and I thought, wow, I'd love to commit suicide.
To be in her squad, for
Sure, yeah.
I could just see myself out having very expensive Chardonnay on a terrace.
Mm-hmm.
A terrazza, as the Italians are.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm drinking the Chardonnay and I look at her and my mouth is still full of cold wet wine. I say, Margaret, let's do it. And I mean sex. And I could actually imagine it, what it would be like to have her
have sex.
Huge boobies.
Yeah.
Pressed up against my penis.
So I think, to be quite honest,
I got carried away, but wow. What a thought.
We've got Swayers. Well, I can't pronounce her name, so she's not going to win.
Let's just call her Ladybird, but I don't think, again, bugs can win awards. I need to check, but doubt it.
We got Meryl Streep from The Post. Now, Meryl Streep is a fine actress and a fine woman, but she's no competition for Margot Robbie. So I feel like for us two men, us two white men in a room, I feel like Margot Robbie's going to take it because we want to we would like to see her in the flesh.
When I think of Meryl Streep in the same way, it does not do it for me. I can't imagine drinking wine with her. Maybe
no, me
tea.
neither.
I can drink hot tea with her and talk about important ideas about acting.
Yeah, but it's got to be Margot all the way because she makes my dick come out to play.
Oh boy. Well, I think about Margaret and I think I could probably do 4 months of salary to buy her a wedding ring rather than the usual advised amount, which is 3 months. She's a kind of a 4-month girl, and I'd probably get her a kind of a ring that had, maybe if I could get the diamond chiseled into the shape of a love heart, and then the ring itself is pink silver.
Yeah.
And then there's another band entwined around the pink, which is blue, and that represents my love for her and also the way that I never leave her alone.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm entangling her and encircling her in such a over-the-top way. And that's what the ring says.
And I think the main thing that we really
My
need to...
ring is onyx black.
Yeah.
Because it's carved from the darkest dwarven minds.
That's cool.
And that's really fucking hip.
That's cool as hell.
Yeah, I can just imagine bashing an orc. And then kissing Margot Robbie in the head.
That'd be the favorite.
Man, that'd be so fucking cool. I've got my virtual reality glasses on inside my mind and I'm seeing it. Oh, yeah.
And we just want to reiterate nothing but respect for the lead actresses and all the greatest women, the greatest actors of our time. Nothing but respect on this show.
I would fully expect to talk about the men in the same way.
Oh, me too. We're not going to, but I would expect it.
I would expect it if we were two women. If I was Rose and you were Adam, the girl, then we would probably go, "Oh, Gary Oldman, give us a kiss."
Oh, Daniel Day-Lewis.
This is your last ever film, but I want to take you for wine and then kiss you.
Yeah, I'd like you to get into character and get into my bedroom.
Yeah,
what
play
I'd
the
say.
character, the angry guy from the film about New York,
Yeah,
gangs in New York, and then, break my wall with punch through my wall with a hammer or something, and then shout about gangs.
yeah,
And that would be like living in gangs in New York.
yeah. So I feel
Very
like
cool.
we've balanced it out,
Yeah. Absolutely. Fair's fair.
so it's fine.
I didn't enjoy saying all that, but I will in the interests of fairness.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a podcast that wears its heart on its sleeve, and the heart says, "I love you, Margaret Robbie. Please, please, please marry me. I'm not going to kiss boys, but I'll pretend to for this." That's what the heart says.
So back in our Oscar special, we've got Margot Robbie, winner of Greatest Actress of probably all time. So we got lead actors. We've already said Daniel Day. We've already said Gary Oldman. We've also got Denzel Washington. And we've got Timothée Chalamet.
Very fancy name.
Chalamet win the Oscar. And we've finally got Daniel Kaluuya from Get Out.
Yes, a very young man
Very young man.
to be nominated for an Oscar, but
Too
there's
young.
been younger. Who was the youngest Oscar nominee? Was that little girl, wasn't it?
Yes.
Last year, 2 years
Winner.
ago? Did she win?
No, the winner of the youngest Oscar was Anna Paquin
Ah, yes.
for
True Blood.
for True Blood.
Yeah.
She won greatest portrayal of Suki in the show True Blood.
Oscar we all aspire to.
Best X-Man was another Oscar she won.
No. My bet Fraser was crushed. I would probably...
Fraser was crushed. Fraser was almost crushed by his father's chair in the episode
crushed by my father's chair.
to buy a chair.
Or not to buy a chair.
That is
Yeah.
my
Question for you, Dan.
question for you, Father Martin.
An episode that would not have been eligible for Oscar because of length again.
Yeah. And it's
Unless Kelsey
unfortunate
Grammer is willing to change his name to Chai Pip.
because it would have been a winner.
Oh, yeah. The award for Best Film goes to this one episode of Frasier.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have known that it was the right decision because I love Niles, I love Daphne, I love Frasier, I love Martin, I love Dog,
Roz.
Roz, I love...
You gotta love Roz.
the chef
Yeah.
from that one episode.
Lilith.
Lilith is actually a very complex character who I find compelling.
Yeah.
BB,
Yeah. We got BB Blazer. We've got
Dr. Phil
of course, Dr.
is
Phil
probably
is
one
in
of the
an
key
episode or
characters of
two.
Frasier for me.
Cam Winston. We've got
Cam Winston's a classic.
so many good characters in Frasier. Maris.
Maris is a character who is seldom seen but often heard about.
Yeah.
I would probably think that if there was an Oscar for Best Actress, Maris from Frasier would be the nominee.
Yeah. And she
You
wouldn't
sure?
show up to get her Oscar because she'd be getting her dogs waxed or something. You
Yeah.
know.
Maris, why aren't you at the Oscar ceremony?
And then
Niles would say, "Oh, I'm sorry. Maris was getting her toes removed."
Maris's 4-year-old Chihuahua was getting a colonic.
I'm so sorry, Frasier, but Maris doesn't want any more toes, so she's getting a toes removed.
She's off
That's
to the
from an
toe
episode.
doctor. From the episode Stumpy Maris. Ego sum.
Yeah,
Because Latin is actually an element of Frasier's humour.
it is.
Yeah.
So is piano playing, and Sherry.
Jerry Niles. Yes, please, Frasier. Where's Maris? Was
That was
Maris
a-
supposed to come here?
That was actually a fairly spot on Gil Chesterton impression.
Thank you. I'm known as... I'm doing a one-man show this year called The Gilded Age, and it's basically me reading the novels of Scott Fitzgerald and, to a lesser extent, Zelda Fitzgerald in the voice of Gil Chesterton.
The food critic from Frasier.
This film is a wonderful film.
My wife, Deb, and I enjoyed this film immensely, Frasier.
I would like to see more of Gil Chesterton. I think the only way to achieve that is to bring back Frasier. And there's such a space at the moment for that kind of show.
I'd watch a spin-off of Frasier. Frasier's a spin-off of Cheers. I'd watch a spin-off of Frasier and make room for Gil.
Yeah, just
and
called
about
Hungry Gil.
His food criticisms, and it would be a real-life show.
Oh yeah, it would be him eating. What I would like to see is a sort of paired-up twin-isode, two shows on the road together, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives with Guy Fieri, and
Hungry Gil.
And then Gil just follows behind him, so you get sort of Guy Fieri's fairly uncritical, forgiving critique of a restaurant, and then Gil comes in the next day and goes, I don't know what Guy was talking about. This is absolute slop. Who on earth put bacon rind in my potato salad?
And that's Gil.
And then Guy and Gil sort of fight it out, duke it out at the end of every episode and disagree, and it's essentially the classic battle between yin and yang, or glass half full, glass half empty, isn't it?
And it's the guys and Gil. Guys
and Gils. Are you a guy or are you a Gil? I think that's basically the universal question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone falls into
It's very
category.
much like are you which Olsen twin are you in Full House? That really says a lot about your personality and who you are as a person. You can really be, humankind can be split into two groups, guys and Gils.
And there's a very easy way to determine it. Ask yourself, you are outside, a complete stranger comes up to you and offers you deep fried bacon chocolate sandwich. Do you eat it, or do you jump on your penny farthing and cycle away in disgust while throwing diamonds from your pockets?
And those are the two options.
To hold
there
your
aren't other
options
options.
off. Yes. And if you pick the first option, congratulations, you're a guy. And if you pick the second option, congratulations, you're a Gil.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's life.
You go to an old wine store. You recognize every bottle of wine. You are Gil.
Yeah. If you go into your kitchen and you make up some grub and it is made of deep fried jalapeno poppers, you are Guy.
There is any number of decorative knives hanging in your kitchen. They feature characters such as Bart Simpson, King of the Hill, and also the American flag. You are Guy.
Yeah. If you start restaurant chains, if you open at least 3 restaurants and at least 2 of those restaurants, if 90% of your restaurants are closed within the first 2 years, you are Guy.
You are at the opera. Someone makes an offhand comment about The Soprano, which you disagree with. You throw an expensive glass of Dom Perignon at them. You are Guy Fieri.
Yeah. You are literally, it's not the separations, you are Guy Fieri.
You have a detailed, nuanced understanding of the works of Mozart. You are Guy Fieri. You eat at fine restaurants every evening with your beautiful wife. You are Guy Fieri.
And that's the crazy thing, is there are so few Gils in the world. Pretty much, no matter what you do, you're a Guy.
Yeah. Mostly. But there's 1 or 2 Gils. You
The outliers.
say Sousson instead of small. You're Gil.
Yeah.
You have never been to space.
And I
you're
tell you,
Gil.
It's a Sousson difference between being a Guy and Gil.
Oui. And I think you might have just blown the coop, because I know what you are.
Yeah.
You're a
Unfortunately,
Gil.
I'm a Gil.
And I should have known when I came in and you were wearing that rather daring hat.
I'm a Gil at heart.
It's a sort of deerstalker, but instead of tweed, it's finely woven spider threads. And it's so delicate and diaphanous.
Almost like velvet.
Almost like velvet, yeah.
That's
Daphne
life.
and Velvet.
Yeah, that's Daphne almost gets married to Velvet before she marries Gil.
Niles and Niles. Oh, Daphne and Gil would have been a great couple, because they're both English.
We see Niles coming from a mile away. Niles comes on from miles, and we should have had Gil, a surprise contender at the last minute. So, oh, Daphne, I've always loved your rear end. and then they
That's
fall
a
in
nice
love.
bonnet, by which I mean your rear end.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
then
feel
she
like
goes,
Gil would have been made a much better character if he was the same, but very much more like Bulldog Briscoe.
Yeah.
Much more of a womanizer,
Yeah.
kind of pathetic.
How interesting would it be if instead of those being two separate, estranged characters, they were two sides of one coin? A sort of
Jekyll and Hyde.
Jekyll and Hyde scenario, a sort of Bulldog and Gil scenario.
Yeah.
And it was just this wildly different man who, while being a kind of effete, Epicurean fella, was also a boob man who loves sports.
And honking his horn.
Like, this sort of guy, this guy, I'm just as happy eating a donut down at the baseball store as I am playing my violin on an English summer morning.
Well, then we're touching on Frasier a little bit, because that's very the dichotomy of Frasier's character.
Yes, Frasier is sort of perfect because he brings together disparate elements.
He's a bad boy, but he's cultured.
It's what we're all aspiring to, is to be someone who can absolutely crush at squash and have a glass of beer down at the old restaurant. Cheers. But also has ylang flavors for his bath.
Yeah. Just a touch of rosehip and some Tahitian vanilla.
Yes, would just be an extraordinry...
Which has
thing
become a
to
phrase
be.
we've used many times on this podcast because we are Frasier heads.
We are
Sorry.
aspiring Frasier boys. Adam and I both live essentially in squalor, but we would like to be successful professional men with a close coterie of well-to-do friends.
And that's, yeah.
And even though my house is currently decorated with almost exclusively Rick and Morty posters and bobbleheads from my favorite TV shows.
I just got the hottest Pickle Rick poster of all time, and it's a picture of Rick, and he's a pickle, and it says, "Look
Rick.
out."
Yeah. But that is
that's
very
funny.
much by necessity rather than by choice. We might decorate all of our living areas like man children, but it would give Adam and I such joy to be able to share a giant oversized coat and live together on each other's shoulders as Frasier in an apartment filled with deeply erotic statues and expensive art.
Yeah, it would be great. And I'd
That's
love
our
to have a
biggest
radio
wish.
show.
Hello, you're listening to
My radio
a
show.
radio show on the radio.
My name's Frasier.
And then say, I'll be the caller, you say, what's the problem, Nicola?
Hi, Doc. Dr. Fraser, I'm a big fan.
I'm listening.
My wife seems to think that 3 Billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri is going to win a bunch of Oscars, but I keep telling her that the title's too long. How do I deal with it?
Well, the problem you have here
By
is...
the way, it's me, Christian Slater.
Of course.
Because actually, sorry, Adam, the Collins on the Frasier Friends were actually celebrities.
Well, Christian, the problem you have is communication with your ex-wife. Your wife. What you
My
need to
current
do...
wife, Doc. I thought you said you were listening.
What you need to do is simply tell your wife the straight facts. Too long a title, and that's why the episode of Frasier, my father's favorite chair, semicolon, me and Niles' adventure to get father's new chair after it falls off the roof, was not considered for a high-level Oscar, which is an Oscar that they have painted gold. More so. So, Christian Slater, just tell your wife, those are the bare facts.
Okay, thanks, Doc. Bye.
Oh, goodbye.
That guy's a real jerk. That was shitty advice.
Oh no, Adam. Christian Slater was still on the phone.
Well, I'm no Frasier.
no, but
still learning.
Imagine what Frasier would react to. No, can I have a go? May I have a go of being Frasier and you can be a celebrity caller?
Of course.
Just do one of your standard strong impressions.
Yeah, of course.
Hello, I'm listening.
Hi, Doc. It's me, everyone's favorite
Christian Slater.
character, Christian Slater. I'm here to tell you about a lot of problems that I've had in my marriage.
Niles! And then the phone goes dead. I chose to take my Frasier in a slightly different direction, one of shouting Niles, and then his eyes roll back in his head.
And guys,
And he dies, and that's the end of Frasier, I'm afraid. But I have a very macabre sense of humor.
much like Frasier.
Yes, and much like Oscar nominee Get Out, and that's why I'm spurring Get Out for this year's must-see Oscar of the Year film.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's going to win an Oscar, but it's my must-see Oscar of the Year film.
Yeah, we can tell you the other best pictures because we come to the big one.
The huge...
Call Me By Your Name, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Get Out, Lady Bird, Phantom Thread, The Post, The Shape of Water, and not included for too long.
Ah, yes. The Ebbing Chronicles.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think we're both going to say, I'm going to say Get Out for Movie of the Year because it's the only one I've seen because it was a cool, scary movie and I took a bunch of lads to see it and we all went to Nando's afterwards.
That's pretty sweet. Call Me By Your Name, I didn't see. Darkest Hour, I didn't see. Dunkirk, I didn't see. Get Out, I haven't seen, but I thought the trailer was very good. Lady Bird is a bug, not a film. Phantom Thread is not out yet. Couldn't have seen it. The Post, I think that's a mistake. That's not a film. That's a book.
Yeah, Post.
Well, it's sort of a book. It's a book that comes every day with a mailman.
Yeah.
The Shape of Water infuriates me because
Also not released yet.
not even out. And then obviously Three Billboards. We have extensively covered the problem with that film, which is essentially one of titulature and nomenclature.
Yeah.
It's a no for me.
So it looks like it's Get Out. It's going to be the big winner this year. Kevin Peele? Is that his name?
Yeah. I think his name is Keegan's Peele.
Yeah, Keegan's Peele. Greatest movie, probably all time. It's probably his best movie.
It's his best movie of all time. The best movie of all time is the action comedy classic Midnight Run.
Of course.
With the great Robert De Niro. Because there's such a funny recurring joke when De Niro keeps saying, look over there, and then punching the guy in the head.
He does do that quite a lot. And he does that in reality too, in real life. Robert De Niro.
Yeah. Well, that's how he got away from the police after they tried to arrest him for being too good at acting.
Yeah.
You're under arrest for showing off acting.
Look over there.
Look over there. Doink. And then he punches him right in the kisser.
Look over there, you doink.
And then...
You're a real doink, you know that? Bye.
Haven't you seen Meet the Fockers?
Yeah. Oh, of course, we all have seen. I'd like to have seen Meet the Fockers given a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Lifetime Achievement Award for Best
Film.
Comedy Picture.
Best Funny Film, Best Film. I would like to have seen Popcorn given a Lifetime Achievement Award for services to movies.
Yeah.
I would like to have seen Coca-Cola given a similar award. I would like to have seen just the people who work in foyers and ushers. Just a shout out for years of service to movies.
And this is a close award to my heart because I was an usher for a very small amount of time in my life.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
And the stuff we go through, the stuff I go through on a daily basis when I'm ushering you to and fro your seats, when I'm taking you up, you want to go to the toilet, I got to pick you up, I got to carry you there, and I got to unzip you, and I got to make sure that you finish up. And it's crazy that your cinema experience really relies upon a good usher.
I would say without a good usher, it's just not a film. It's just you're just wetting yourself in a chair and you're not even able to focus on the film because there's no one to take you to the toilet.
It's just like watching movies at home.
Yeah, the difference between home cinema and, if you like, away cinema is the usher experience.
Yeah.
The UI.
Why?
Yeah. When I go to the cinema, a little trick I'll do is I'll really, really trip really hard and really make an effort to try and smack myself against the floor as much as possible. I know this has never occurred to you, but while you're falling, if you focus as much as possible, sort of once you've made that initial trip on landing as hard as you can, it's amazing how much difference you can make.
That's not something I've ever done.
Really try and shatter myself against that. Well, make sure everyone sees, and it's really painful. And if I do it hard enough, I'll usually get my own personal usher.
Yeah.
Who'll sort of take me, kind of carry a tissue under my bleeding nose or help me limp up to the cinema, and then he'll just stay next to me. And if I turn to him and I go,
I need some more popcorn. I got another Coke.
and he will.
He will.
Because he feels so sorry for me having been so thumped by their floor.
That's ushering for you.
That's high level ushering. The kind of cinemas that I go to, which are sort of gold class experiences.
That's Oscar worthy ushering.
I should say I only go to the cinema when I'm on ships. When I'm on one of my cruise ships, one of my P&Os, I'll often take in an evening film, as it were.
Well, what's the point in awarding or seeing cinema outside of your own home?
Yeah, I agree. And
I've got hundreds of movies on Blu-ray. I've got a memory stick this big, and it's filled. It's filled to the brim with great pictures and great movies. But I don't need to go to the cinema to plug it in. I can plug it in my television.
you'd be doolally to go to the cinema unless you're trapped on a ship, and in which case your room probably doesn't have a home entertainment system like my home does.
Yeah, and there's only a couple places you can go on a ship that aren't the water.
Yeah, there's the bowling and the cinema. And bowling on a ship is rubbish because the momentum of the waves knock over all the pins before you can actually bowl.
Yeah.
And the
Cinema's not great either, but it's
well,
there.
It's worse than being at home, but it's better than not looking at anything but the sea.
Yeah. And on these cruises, you're out for days at a time.
I saw Lucy on a boat.
Okay.
Um,
Great movie. Morgan
movie.
Freeman.
Bad sea, though.
Yeah.
Sea was very shaky, and it made the cinema shake.
And
there
that
was
would
water
add to
coming
it,
in.
to a great movie like Lucy.
Yeah, well, if it had coincided with the scenes when she's doing a car crash or whatever, that would have been great. But it mostly happened during the scenes when Morgan Freeman was establishing the plot. And I was like, well, why is this lecture theatre shaking so much?
Yeah. It's tough.
Turns out I was on a boat. And it had nothing to do with the film.
Well,
No.
that's movies. That's the... No business.
There's
Like-
no business.
There's no business.
So
Movies have no business being on a boat.
my Oscar for best place to see movies is boats.
My Oscar for best movies to best place to see movies is in your home.
Okay, great. Well, we agree.
Mm-hmm.
I live on a boat.
Houseboat.
My houseboat is a bad boat. It's got a hole in the bottom. It's got a hole in the top. If it rains, I'm getting wet. If it isn't raining, I'm basically just spending all my time bucketing water out of the inside so it doesn't sink.
Yeah, and I've got a hole in the roof of my house, but I've got a hole in the floor of my house, and all the water just goes straight through.
Yeah. Well, that's a perfect system. It's basically like in one of those cases where two holes is basically none.
Yeah, and if you ever need a glass of water, something fresh, I'll just collect some rainwater. Just hold your hand above the underneath and above the hole, and you got a fresh glass of water.
That's amazing. I haven't had a drink of water in years because all my water.
Well, it's all seawater, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's seawater, and I'm on a seawater diet. I drink seawater. And
I
it makes
see
me
water
very
and I eat
sick.
it, and I
Oh right,
vomit.
that's clever. I hadn't thought of that. No, I just mean all I'm eating at the moment is seawater because I guess salt is food,
I guess.
and if I boil the seawater, then I get a sort of salty crust that I can eat, and that's it. Oh, I have popcorn sometimes when I'm at this boat.
Yeah, in the boat cinema.
Yeah.
Depends if your usher gets it for you. It depends how hard you fall. So it's not a reliable popcorn system.
No, fall hard enough, have a popcorn. Don't fall hard enough, have a nothing.
Well, you can sip on the salt water that you've got sort of just on
About
your
my
flesh,
body,
on your skin.
yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like much of a way to live.
No.
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 Well, the Oscar for worst life, I guess, goes to living on a houseboat that has a hole on the top and the bottom.
Yeah.
And the Oscar for best life goes to living in a normal apartment that has a hole in the roof and one on the floor, and it goes right through.
Yep.
And Adam's the winner of that one.
I'm a winner of best Oscar.
Best bedwetter.
And I think, really, let's be honest, after this whole podcast, the winner of best Oscar really goes to Dr. Papadopoulos.
Yes, absolutely. And I will be going back to him to get the Lego I sold earlier in the show taken out after this, so you can look forward to hearing my regular voice next week.
Yeah, expect
the unexpected, bitch.
Yep.
Which is the name of my new show.
So you can have a listen to that. That's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu, yep, and I'm play a detective who can see crime live through a series of cameras he's got rigged up through the streets of the city he lives in, which is Detroit.
So he always expects the unexpected, bitch.
Yeah, the tagline just sounded cool. It doesn't really relate. A better tagline would have been "I'm watching, bitch," or just "I'm watching," because the B word is actually derogatory these days.
Yeah.
I don't mean it in that way.
No,
It's just a
no,
funny
no.
word.
It's in a way of like, "Ha, I caught you!" Like you stupid bitch, I caught you.
Yeah, I mostly say it to men. Like yesterday, I was in H&M, the clothes store, and I was looking at the white T-shirts,
Uh-huh.
and this guy came over. I guess he worked there, and he said, "Do you need help?" I said, "I'm looking at white T-shirts, bitch. What kind of help do you think I need, bitch?" And then he was very mad, irate.
Yeah. I rate his anger 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it was probably closer to a 10, baby, because that guy hit me in the head until I cried. He did not work there.
No,
and
he's
he did not ask if I needed for help. I misheard. I just turned around and shouted at him.
Oh, well.
Ah, well.
We learn from our mistakes.
And if we don't, we die from our mistakes.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a great episode. It's great to get back on the bandwagon after a week off. Talk about Oscars. Everyone's going to win an Oscar, but this year it's going to be me.
Yeah.
Probably for my new show on Hulu.
If you're watching this, if you're listening to this after the Oscars and you think, these guys were way off the mark, give us a break.
You're probably thinking, how the hell did these guys get every single one right? Well, when you apply logic, such as a film can't win if it's got too long of a title, or some of these names are obviously made up names, it's not a guess, it's logic. It's hard fact.
Yeah.
Bitch. And
So-
again, I mean that in no nice way.
And in the nicest
No nice way.
in the nicest way, we just want to let you know this Oscar season, expect the unexpected, you fucking bitch.
Yeah. All right. Well, God bless. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thanks for listening.